What if I told you that life was a pizza? What if I told you that life requires you to pay attention to every individual slice of pizza? Now, we're not taught this in school. We're not taught this stuff in college. Sometimes our parents don't even teach us. And I like to call this the pizza method. And we're going to talk about this in the Life Monopoly Masterclass on August 3rd. I decided to have this class because we are in the second half of the year. I think it's very important. Maybe some people haven't gotten their momentum yet. If you haven't, this class will help you do so. Life is like a pizza, and every slice requires your attention. When you're increasing your value in life, you increase your value in every category of life. Financial literacy, connections, communication, your spiritual life, self-work and introspection. These are all different slices of life. The problem is we become super fixated on one particular slice and then we ignore all the others. And as a result of that, we're not increasing our value at the level that we can because we don't know what to focus on, one, and two, we're allowing the wrong things to be let in. I think the main cause for a lot of people not getting to where they're supposed to be in life is because of their connections. No one should be connected to your life if they don't serve a positive purpose. There's absolutely no point. It's like holding on to a rope that's giving you blisters. Let the rope go so you can stop bleeding, heal, and use your hands on what they need to be used on. Because a lot of people in life, your value is being stunted. It's hard for you to increase your value because of who and what you're connected to. Dangerously increasing your value for a better life experience. I'm going to give you guys the secret recipe. When you start to increase your value as a person, life gets more balanced. And the reason why is because you refuse to connect yourself to anything or anyone that is not in alignment with the value that you are working hard to continuously increase. People who are working on themselves in lives are constantly working on themselves. They're not, I'm just working on myself for this time period. I'm just working on myself because I divested. I'm just working on myself because I went through a breakup. I'm just working on myself because I went through a divorce. No, working on yourself is till the day you are in a box. You are always working on increasing your value as an individual. It's not something you do for a season. It's something you sign up to do for a lifetime. But people who are dangerously increasing their value, you can't allow much. I noticed that when I started working on myself in life and I started to increase my value more, I started becoming more and more strict. I don't really know how to explain it. I think it's because I stopped giving myself excuses, because I started holding myself accountable, because I started becoming more strict with myself. It's almost like I stopped allowing other people to not meet me where I'm at. Meaning I'm not going to come down from where I'm at to meet you down where you are. So for example, a good example of this is you're a good person. You value the people you love. You take care of the people you love, right? You honor those and respect those that are people that are important to you. You give them that honor and respect. But then you encounter a family member or a friend that doesn't understand basic respect principles. For me, at that point, that person has to be removed. And while to the person that got removed, they may think, oh my God, why is Mel so strict? Why is Mel so cutthroat? Why is Mel so concrete? Why is Mel so limited? I'm limited because what you're doing, your abuse, your verbal words, your disrespect, your bad behavior, in order for me to keep that connection between the both of us, I have to come down from where I'm at and meet you down at where you are. And I unfortunately cannot do that at this point in life because I'm increasing my value, meaning I want to keep going up the pyramid. So that low quality experience that you're presenting to me, that means that I would have to come down from where I'm at to connect myself to you and continuously water that low vibrational and low quality interaction. And I'm not going to teach you how to be a decent human. That was your parents' job. If they didn't do that, then you have to figure it out on your own. But I'm not here to mother you into that, into how to be decent. So again, when you're dangerously increasing your value, you become more of a strict person. And because you're more of a strict person, you have a better life experience. And the reason why you have a better life experience is because you're not allowing low quality, low vibrational behaviors anymore. It's simply non-existent in your world. It's non-existent in your reality. That's why somebody asked me one time, oh, well, how do I deal with a friend that always acts funny towards my bad news? I said, that's the problem right there. You're asking how to deal with it. That's not something you should be dealing with at all. You shouldn't be dealing with anybody that sees your growth as a problem. So you're asking the wrong question. You're saying, how do you deal with that friend? That is not somebody that you should be dealing with at all because they're not serving your life any type of purpose. So when you're dangerously increasing your value, first of all, increasing your value is very hard, right? We're going to talk about that in the Life Monopoly Masterclass. Like, life is a pizza. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was on a girl chat, and it dawned on me. I'm like, life is this big pizza, and sometimes we focus on one slice and we forget about all the other slices. Life requires you, in order for you to be at your peak performance, in order for you as a human being to be balanced in every area of your life, every area of your life is going to require you to give it 100. Life is a pizza. Sometimes you may be hyper-focused on one slice, but what about all the other slices though? It's like those people, those parents that are hyper-focused on their career, but then they forget that, hey, you have to bond with your children, right? You have to speak to your children. You have to ask your children, how are you? What's going on? You have to be emotionally present for your child. But some parents, because they don't understand the pizza method, and we're going to talk about this in the Life Monopoly Masterclass August 3rd, they hyper-focused on work, pay the bills. But yeah, that's one slice though. That child needed their mom during their first breakup. That child needed their mom when they were getting bullied. That child needed some type of emotional outlet. But because you turned your back on the relationship and friendship slice, because you were too focused on the financial slice, you were imbalanced. And for every imbalance in your life, you will pay the price. When you're increasing your value in life, you have to view yourself from a different lens. And it's not just about viewing yourself from a different lens. You also have to have the credentials to move in the way that you move, right? Now, when you're increasing your value in your life, people have one time to mess up with you. You have to curate a value that's so expensive that people know that if they move incorrectly, or if they do things disrespectfully, or if they take your kindness for weakness, they will be rejected out of their access. They will never be able to access you after that. When you increase your value, life becomes easier because you don't really have negative experiences when your value is increased. When your value is increased, you go to nice places with nice environments. You're connecting yourself to quality people only. Your network is people that value time, etiquette, respect, right? When you dangerously increase your value, your life becomes a lot more balanced because you don't allow much anymore. Okay, people who are not working on increasing their value, they allow a lot of nonsense, not just from other people, but sometimes they're the ones that impose the nonsense. People impose nonsense in their life by what? not being financially responsible. You have to learn a lesson 15 times before you make a change. You're not selective and picky about the people that are connected to you. You don't take care of your body. You don't take care of your health. Those are all traits that causes you to lower your value. And while your value is decreasing, you are always going to be connected to low value people as well. Why? Because high value people do not connect themselves to people who are not increasing their value. They don't. So you're not even going to have access to those type of people in the first place. In order to have access to people who are working on increasing their value in life, you have to also be doing the same thing. But if you're not doing that, you will not have access to those people. And when I say high value, dangerously increase your value, stop just talking about money, because I know there's going to be an ignorant person in the comment section that is going to say, oh, well, I don't care about money. Not once did I mention money here. A high value person, or a person that is increasing their value, is somebody that is increasing their life in all shades. Okay, people who increase their value have good etiquette, right? They're very respectful. They have good manners. They're elegant. They're polished. They're reliable. They show up. They treat people with respect. They treat people that they love well. Increasing your value is not about just increasing your money. You can have a lot of money in your bank account and you're still not a decent human. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about increasing our value in totality. So when you choose to dangerously and radically increase your value, you will always have a better life experience, because the things that you used to deal with don't exist in your world anymore. So sometimes I'll have calls with people and they'll tell me, oh, this person's doing this to me, or I'm going through that, or this situation is happening. How do you deal with that? And I say, I can't tell you how to deal with that, because that stuff doesn't exist in my world. There are no low quality individuals attached to me or connected to me. I don't allow people who don't like me in my life. I don't connect myself to people who are lazy, who are not doing the work. I don't, talk to, people who are just, not living an intentional life. So my life is pretty smooth because I'm not attached to any of that, because I wouldn't allow it to attach to me. Because if I allow it to attach to me, it's going to pull me back. So when you're dangerously increasing your value in life, your life is easier, because the low vibrational things, those type of things can't connect to you, because you're on such a high wave that it's impossible for those kind of things to connect itself to you. So how do you work on increasing your value? You increase your value by looking at every part of your life like a pizza. I call it the pizza method. And we'll talk about this in the Life Monopoly Masterclass. Very excited. Life Monopoly is going to be August 3rd. And you have to look at your life like it's a pizza. There's different parts of our lives. I think that based on the way that we were raised, based on if we're in survival mode, based on what we were taught by our parents and our elders, many people don't view life as a pizza. They hyper-focus on one part of life, meaning they hyper-focus on one slice, and then they forget about all the others. Life requires a lot of balance. Increasing your value requires you to be extremely balanced in all shades. So if you're hyper-focused on just your career, what about your relationships? What about your friendships? What about your self-growth? You're putting all of your eggs in the school and career basket, and you're ignoring everything else. That is not helping you increase your value. You have to view life as a pizza, and every slice needs your undivided attention. That's where balance comes in. We'll talk about that in the Life Monopoly Masterclass. When you're increasing your value, there's certain things that you just cannot accept anymore. You completely develop a new moral code, okay? When you are increasing your value in life, people don't have multiple chances to mess up with you. People don't get multiple chances to not get the job done. People don't get multiple chances to disrespect you. Because the more chances you give, the more your value goes down. The more access you give, the more your value goes down. It's a concept that you have to have engraved in your mind so that you are having a very beautiful life experience. I have a very beautiful life experience. Why? Because I don't allow certain things. What I allow in my life is extremely limited. That's how serious I am about my life. So there's a lot of things that people allow that is causing the value of their life to be negative. And that's causing the value of their life to be uncomfortable because, one, you're not increasing your value as an individual, and two, you're allowing a lot of nonsense. And because of that, the value of your life is going to pay for it. Okay?